What is going on, ladies and gentlemen of the tribe? Our favorite time of every given fortnight is when we get brand new lightspeed tokens come to the game that we can earn for absolutely free for Bubkiss. Absolutely on the nose, ladies and gentlemen. And this one is going to round up our Mandalorians and give us easy access to the Bo-Katan Mandalore Legendary Journey event. Let's get cracking, shall we? Alright then, I have not had a chance to look at these. These come out at about 2 a.m. local Scribbles time, which I think should be its own time zone. Usually it's that time of day where CG decide to release stuff without telling me. Not that they owe me anything, obviously. So what do we need to do? We need to win 10 battles with any KX series droid in your squad. Now, I know today is the release date of the KX security droid, coming out in just a couple of short hours. Probably while you're watching this, it's probably out, right? But we're in the past right now, and in the past we have to deal with the only units that we have. So I assume it's talking about K2SO. K2SO is my only assumption here for KX security droid. So K2SO is a Rogue One unit. Where could we possibly use this guy? 10 battles. Now, obviously, the simplest solution is going to be use anything that you can use a rebel with. So I'm thinking Palpatine. Like, we abuse Palpatine so much on these Journey Guide events. So K2SO, throw him in here. He's a super easy farmable droid. You don't even need to have him survive. So just go in, or you could just wait, do the marquee event for the KX security droid. That's absolutely fine. I'm not going to make you guys sit here and watch me go ad nauseum through the tier 1 of the Palpatine event. Just take in any decent rebels that you've got. I mean, you guys have got lightspeed tokens for Captain Rex over here. He'll be Relic 1. He'll absolutely sweep this without any issues. So I'll see you in a couple of minutes, ladies and gentlebeans. All right, and that should wrap up that first part of this journey quest. Getting those 10 wins nice and easy, super easy. Barely an inconvenience, ladies and gentlemen. So, what's next? That gives us 10 Zeta Mats. K2, really easy guy. Attempt to expose enemies 100 times. Now, right now, we have Conquest available to us, and that is absolutely going to be the easiest way of landing those exposes, because you can just go in with the Feat Training Droid data disk to get that done. Yes, it will cost you some energy, so I just want to show that. Oh, I don't actually have it on this alt account, so guess we're not going to do it that way. But if you do have the Feat Training Droid data disk, you'll be able to take it into Conquest, go in with anything that's going to do a lot of exposes, especially if you've got the blinding, not blinding, what is it? I've got it on this account as it is. Blindside, there you go. Whenever you attack out of turn, you're going to inflict an expose on the enemy. CLS is going to be a great way to get this done as well. With C-3PO in the team, whenever you're doing those basics, you're going to be playing exposes. So looking over here on C-3PO, all allies have 10% potency. Whenever a rebel or Ewok ally uses their basic ability, they inflict expose on the target enemy for 2 turns, which cannot be evaded. So that to me seems like the easy way of grabbing ourselves a bit of expose action over here. So I'm just going to throw some garbage tier mods on my C-3PO over here and hope for the best. Yeah, and anything that you've got. Well, I mean, that's a speed arrow with a speed. Let's go ahead and just take that up to level 15, even if it's garbage. Even if it's garbage, absolutely fantastic. I mean, that's got a 5 speed roll. Maybe we'll get really lucky here and get like live 25 speed mod. No, that's streamer luck is not in my favor today, unfortunately. Let's go ahead and throw that on. Well, might as well take you to 15. Yeah, it didn't roll speed. Of course it doesn't roll speed, Scribbles. Why would it roll speed for you, good sir? Oh, that did. There we go. We got a +6 speed there. That's rather nice. Now, I do want to get a final one to be a speed set, just so that we can have a speed bonus. He's not very high level. He's only gear 8. Now, funny thing is, we can obviously go right back in against Palpatine over here, but I almost feel like the Ewoks are actually a better team to use here, because they do more basics, right? They do more basics. Unfortunately, the only Ewok event that we can do within the Journey Guide is going to be in the C-3PO event, I believe, and you can't use C-3PO in there. So I'm not going to be able to do that there. We're just going to go in against the Palpatine, turn 1, and in an ideal world, what you want to be taking in is stuff like Mon Mothma, but I don't think I have Mon Mothma. Oh, I do have Mon Mothma. Anything that's not really going to attack is what we want, because we want people to just survive, more or less. Survive and not deal damage. because that's the only way we're really going to get this done. Now, I wonder if I could take this in and I can just put it on auto basic and hope for the best. Because we're getting exposes every time we do that. I should probably go to a higher level of difficulty, although if it just comes down to Mon Mothma and C-3PO, they'll both escape. So that did 8. That's not that many. You're definitely better off going into Conquest, using the Feat Training Droid data disk and going absolutely ham. So you know what? I'm actually going to go up to the highest tier of difficulty over here, just to try and see if we can get this a little bit trickier. You know what I'm saying? Do a little bit more of this expose action. I'm just going to go in and hit auto basic. So every time that, ooh gosh, that's still way too much damage. I definitely need to change the team comp over here. It's swapped it over to something that's a little too powerful. End of the day, I think that we are just going to have to farm this out the hard way, but I'm not going to force you to watch it. It's a little bit dull, it's a little bit boring, but you can do this without wasting any energy whatsoever. So let's get rid of you, Stormtrooper Luke. I'm guessing that Stormtrooper Luke? That was CLS. I'm guessing that I don't have Mon Mothma at the necessary level, and that's fine. That's absolutely fine. I'm wondering if anybody else over here has got exposes. Doesn't Adrad do something with exposes versus Empire? I can't recall now. No, it might be Cassian. Oh, hang on. It did say something about expose there. If a Rogue One ally is critically hit by an enemy, that enemy gains exposed for 2 turns, which can't be resisted. I mean, that's not too bad. I don't want to do anybody that's too powerful. Nobody that's too powerful. We want people that are going to survive and people that are just going to do really weak basics, essentially. This might actually do the trick. We've got some Rogue One allies here, so they might reflect and get some exposes on themselves, which is nice. We'll have to see how that goes. Get some exposes, get some exposes, get some exposes. Good. More see, K2SO is actually pretty useful here because he'll counterattack. If they crit him, he's going to expose them, and if he counterattacks, that's a basic, so it's going to expose them. This is the perfect comp. The perfect comp for me right now. That got me 11. I will see you guys in about 5 minutes. Looks like we are all done and dusted on the expose action. Don't expose yourself in public, guys. Do it in the safety of your own home. And that is going to give us a lightspeed token of the anomalous faction. Over here to our IG-12 and Grogu, IG-11 and Grogu. The droid. Got him. Nailed it. Next, we need to defeat 50 droids with any character featuring Grogu present. IG-11, IG-12 and Grogu, and the Mandalorian Beskar armor. Now, usually I try to find mod battles that have got droids. I don't know if any of these are droid heavy. Ooh. Not particularly droid heavy at this moment. Maybe, oh no, the mod challenges ones aren't so great. Maybe Cantina. There are definitely some that are incredibly heavy on droids. I mean, that's got some droids. Let's go ahead and check out journey guides. Now, obviously, the BAM event itself, you do use IG-12 and Grogu, but I don't think necessarily there are any droids in that. No, that's just, what's his face? And that one's against the Mudhorn, is it? I want to say. No, that's the entrance, isn't it? So I don't think that counts either. Okay. I don't think there's a default one for droids, so we might not be able to journey guide this. Obviously, once again, Conquest is going to be an easier way of getting that done, but we might have to resort to light side battles. So I'm going to start filtering through to see if I can find any nodes with lots of droids. I'm sure there is some Geonosis stuff. Ooh, hold up. We've got Camino 9B over here. Let's go ahead and test this out. Now, we don't need IG-12 and Grogu to actually survive. Oh, look, IG-11 is right there. He doesn't need to survive or anything like that. He doesn't need to be doing the business, as it were. He just needs to be present. So, I'm just going to figure this out real quick. I have Han. I'm sure this will be fine. I'm just trying to count through and see how many there are. So, there are 3 here. There's another 4, so that's 7 in total. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, that's 12 isn't too bad. You'd only have to do this 5 times. Unfortunately, I think it's 50 that we need to kill, right? So 12 for this particular energy node. That's okay, but I'm pretty sure we can do better than that. Okay, cool. Let's check out another node. I mean, this has got some droids. Is it going to be better? Is it going to be better than 12? No. Not better than 12. Objectively worse. I think this one is actually 11. But hey, it was worth experimenting, right? Yeah, that was 11 on that one. Technically speaking, it will still get you the 50 in the same amount of time, but, you know, we want to find better than that. Maybe the mall one, that's got 2 B1s. Let's check that out. Oh my gosh. The first wave having just 3 Tuscans is not a good sign, is it? And the second wave just being a full of... Why did this even show B1s when all it's giving me is Tuscans? And then it finishes off with 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is a terrible node. Don't use this one. Alright, let's keep looking then for another node. This one's got 1 there. I'll just have a look. We'll test this. Ah, that one's got 2. 6B. Let's check this out. Let's check out 6B. See if 6B has got any more than 12 so far is the best so far. Oh my gosh. Starting off with 2 enemies is kind of garbage. That's kind of garbage. 2 enemies and they're not even droid. And then 3 enemies and they're not even droid. Even though the possible enemies based on the actual thing was just droids. And then you finish off with, what, 6 droids? If every wave was 6 droids, that would be ideal. But as it stands, this is not a good node. So far, 910 giving us 12 is the best that we've seen yet. Now, there is another node over there that I do want to test just in case. Just in case it was this one over here. Because I just want to see what we can find that's actually useful. So, if you ever start a node and there's just no droids, it's obviously not a good sign. Yeah. 2 waves, no droids. Like, why even show droids? They're like, we're only going to show you the boss node, and the boss node might contain some droids. And it's 1 droid. Yeah, this is absolute garbage. It's great if you really, really need to kill Mob Enforcer, though. Okay, let's keep going. This one's got 2. We'll try Tatooine 5L. I'll throw in Dash. Dash is good for AoE action. Let's go. Okay, that's a good start. What is that, 5? Yeah, that was 5 at the start. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Hold up. I think we found a winner. Go on, give me more droids. 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, yeah, this is hands down. This is hands down the winner, I think. So 5L, or what? I think it was 5L. The very last one in Sector 5. Oh, look at that. I need to do 1 more battle. This is definitely the one you want to go for. By the looks of things, you could try to find some journey guide unit that does it. I don't think there's one that you use IG-12 and Grogu where you actually face off against droids, but 5L definitely seems to be where the bed and breakfast is, if you know what I mean. Good stuff. All right, let's move on to the next feat. All right, let's grab this. 3 Omicrons. Wonderful. Defeat 100 enemies with droids, taking out Queel. Okay. Not taking out Queel, providing us with Queel. So we've got IG-11 and Grogu right now. This is going to give us a lovely, lovely boost to this unit, straight up into relic levels. He is a droid and a scoundrel, but we can do better than this. We can do much, much better than this. Now, when it comes to defeating enemies, obviously you can go into something like Conquest, and when you're farming nodes, just use droids there. But generally speaking, I go to Mod Battles 9C, because that has quite a lot of units, and you just want to take in droids that are going to get kills for you. So if you're being really kind-hearted, change one of your allied units into a powerful droid, and just go ham. I'm going to see what droids I have available on this particular account to see if we can actually make anything work. All right, we've got some decent units here, just no real leadership. I'll have to take in IG-88. Okay, that'll have to do. That'll have to do. I mean, Hu Yang is a thingamabob. You could also go in onto the Padme event using General Grievous and Separatist droids, and that will cost you no energy. But I like this node just because it's a bit of a time saver. You can go in and defeat the Night Sister zombie twice, and that will get you free kills, essentially, because he will respawn, or she will respawn twice, which is really, really useful. And in the last wave, you can actually time it out against the old Daka and let her constantly revive your units as well. So, good way. Oh, I wasted a kill there. I wasted 1 kill there. But still, pretty good start. Once again, focus on the zombie twice so you can get some free kills. Mass assist. Does this assist one? Nice. Good job, buddy. I'm proud of you. All right, so extra kills there from defeating the Night Sister zombie. And then the spirits are apparently just going to be a pain in the tuchus. Chupio is going to do his business. Good to see. R2. Going to work. Okay, when you get to the final tier, I recommend you defeat everybody apart from Night Sister Zombie and Old Daka, okay? So focus on the other units at the back, because these guys can potentially get respawned by Old Daka, and that is very useful. Let's see. Okay, she didn't even use it. She just used a basic for some reason, which is an interesting choice, Daka. A real interesting choice. You don't want to revive your allies. I get it. I mean, I don't get it, but that is definitely what you decided to do, so we'll let you be. We're just going to get rid of that taunt, and I want to see if we can get rid... There we go. See, we got a couple of revives there. I would focus on the Acolyte, because the Acolyte can actually hide itself, and that's just a pain. And once again, go back, start focusing on... everybody apart from Daka and the Night Sister Zombie, alright? I'm going to do an AoE here in the hopes of defeating Asajj. That's exactly what I was hoping for. Defeat. Hopefully now we can get Daka to do another revive, so I'm just going to try and time this out. She only revived one, unfortunately. If she revives like 3 or 4, you can get quite a few kills that way. Alright, okay. So it looks like that's going to round that out. How many did we get there? 26 kills. So it'll only take you 4 attempts. Like I said, you could go into the Padme event and just farm that with your Separatist droids. It will cost you absolutely nothing in terms of energy. It'll just take you a little bit longer, that's all. Has anybody here got a nice trusty droid for me to use? No, they don't, so I'm just going to take away the ally, and we're going to see you guys in about 5-10 minutes. Cool. Alrighty then. And that is that stage of the anniversary quest done and dusted. I know this one takes up some energy, and if you really don't want to use energy, like I said, use like the Padme event, use your Separatist droid, something like that. You'll get it done. It'll just take you a little bit more long time. I prefer to save myself the effort and the time. So we get ourselves a lovely Queel over there. Next up, we need to win 20 battles with a full squad of Scoundrels. Now, I actually think you could probably just use the Beskar Armor Mando event for this. Just go in and like the tier 1, or you could use like Bosk if you haven't already got Chewbacca event. So you could go in on like tier 1 of the Chewbacca event. You could take in your Scoundrels over here. Well, just make sure. I'm pretty sure almost every single bounty hunter is a Scoundrel, but let's just double check to make sure, because I don't want us to be fools. So you could go in and just do this. All you're looking to do really is find any node that is really quick and easy to do. Just get a single AoE off and win it 20 times. So for me, like the Chewbacca event, really easy. We've actually got stuff for Scoundrels in these lightspeed tokens. Really, really easy. Just go in, smash it out, or use Conquest. You know, anything that you can just chuck Scoundrels in will be an easy way of getting this done. It'll take you a couple of minutes, right? 20 times, and it takes us, what, like 7 seconds around? It'll take you 2 minutes to get through all this. Just spam it. Spam it with Boba Fett over there doing a nice big AoE and winning the day. Cool. I'll see you in 2 minutes. Genuinely, over the course of this, these journey guides, these lightspeed tokens, I don't know how many times I have murdered Chewbacca. He's probably got an absolute 100% hatred for me, but I can't blame him. He's just very easy to kill. That's the thing. All right, so that's going to give us Grief Karga over here, straight up to relics with the rather wonderful Zetas attached. Now we need to attempt today's 100 times. For me, the really easy way for this should theoretically be using Admiral Raddus versus any sort of Empire turn meter gaining situation, because that retroactively applies days. So if, like, I know we say this, but if you have got a conquest node with Imperial troopers, which I'm really hoping I do over here, I mean, they don't really gain that much turn meter. Doesn't look like I have one in this sector. Maybe I've got one in sector 1. Let's keep on checking. I don't know if they exist there. No. Do I have one over here somewhere? Come on. Find me an... Ooh, I mean, Vader does have some, but it's not really an ideal setup. Because in this team, only really Piet is gaining that much turn meter, I believe. So not ideal. If you've got Imperial Trooper node in Conquest, use Admiral Raddus against that. Failing that, I'm thinking if you just go into the Journey Guide and go into top tier and then use an Adrad lead, Because when an Empire enemy gains bonus turn meter, they're inflicted with daze for 2 turns, which can't be resisted. So I'm hoping that this will work retroactively and we don't really have to worry too much about it. Let's just see what happens when I throw these guys in. I'm just putting any old unit in now. So they've got the daze there. Daze and daze. Yeah, there we go. See, they're all getting dazed and stuff. That's something. That's something. Now, is this going to be the fastest way to get it done? Probably not, because that only got us 4 dazes. So there has to be a better way. Maybe if we check mod battles. Does mod battles have any Empire? I mean, it doesn't have to be Empires, but we're probably actually better off going against the Night Sisters again and just going in with a really, really sort of daze-heavy team. But hey, let's just have a look over here. Anything here that can help me out with dazes? And not particularly, so I'll just get rid of that. I'm going to take in a Radis lead again, because I'm kind of intrigued over here. I'm kind of intrigued to see if there's any round that is sort of Imperial Trooper led. I'm just going to go auto basics. I'm unsure if anything here gains turn meter. We'll be able to see straight away, obviously. But failing that, we could just go in with anything with AoE dazes. You could use Dash Rendar, you could use Echo, as in Bad Batch Echo for the AoE daze. You could use, I mean, technically Gas, but Gas will probably defeat the enemies too quickly, and that's not really what you want. Let's change this over to a full auto ability. They obviously can't gain their dazes here. Who else would be good? I'm sure there are lots. Unfortunately, General Veers is not in the leadership here, so he's not generating that turn meter. For some reason, they're using a Stormtrooper lead, I think, which is a little bit peculiar. So this doesn't particularly work for Rogue One lead unless this final wave has got lots of enemies and lots of turn meter gains. It looks like, once again, there's no leadership here. They're using like a Stormtrooper lead. If it was actually Palpatine lead, maybe we would have some hope. The irony. The irony. Okay, so I think we'll just change it up. We'll go in versus the Night Sister node, because I feel like that way you will just generate so much more days, right? Captain Rex, Captain Sexy Rexy, definitely AoE days on his second special, and it cannot be avoided. And Mara Jade, I have a feeling Maul with his second special, Nest with her second special, so you could even farm it in the raid. If you got the raid active, you could use Nest's second special to get days out. Okay, I have a feeling these guys are going to hit too hard, but we'll find out here. Is her days actually on the first ability? Must be. Let's let's see. Does this deal a lot of damage? No. Okay. IG-12 and Grogu's days is actually pretty neat. My other guys are just hitting too hard, unfortunately. There is too much investment in those guys, so I'm probably better served taking her out of the team. Ninth Sister is able to do pretty good work, but again, we are probably dealing too much damage is the main issue over here. Oh, she doesn't do days. She does days on a basic. Okay. I don't know why I've got a Jawa over here. That's great. Days on a basic is wonderful. I imagine the best way to get the days done is definitely using the Feat Training Droid data disk and throwing that on the... you're going in against any node in Conquest that you can quite comfortably survive and just hammer away and get all the days done that way. That definitely feels like the easiest way of getting it done. But yeah. Well, you could even go like Grand Inquisitor event using Ninth Sister. You get 3 days there. So let's go ahead and make sure that we take out units like Mara Jade. Bo-Katan, probably take her out as well. Let's just once again sort by days. I feel like using Nest maybe, because my Nest isn't going to do a lot of damage. How does Nisa do days? She doesn't. She's got like a day's immunity. So I feel like Maul would be a pretty decent shout. I think Cal Kestis' days is when he hits stacks of Impetuous or whatever it is. Ooh, I should definitely be using... Echo over here. Echo's second special is a daze that does no damage. So we'll do this first AoE. Yeah, so that gets us a good amount of daze. We'll do this again. That's more dazes there. Wonderful. Even if they've already got it, it's just going to reapply it. So we'll throw this. That's more dazes. Wonderful. And I'll just do a basic here. That AoE is dazes. Okay, and it gives lots of turn meter. So yeah, a team like this is going to be a good way of getting it done, I feel. This is an AoE daze. Ooh, you got some kills there. That's not ideal. So something like this on any node that you can really drag out the battle is going to be a good thing, I feel. AoE here. Lots of dazes on the board. Wonderful. Yes, 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 indeed. No. Okay, fine. Don't. Maul with the bonus turns. Let's see, can we get more dazes? Dazes and stuns is wonderful. I'm going to save that for the next round because there'll be more enemies in the field, and I feel like having more dazes in one instance is probably better than fewer dazes in fewer instances. Nest also can't miss apparently on her basic. Okay, so hopefully we should be able to get a good chunk of dazes on this wave. Using enemies that don't deal a lot of damage but have the capabilities of doing AoE dazes is definitely one way to... I haven't leveled up that ability. I need to level up the ability on my Echo. Silly little sausage. Silly little sausage scribble. Oh, never mind, eh? Can I actually call anybody? Oh, I can only call clone trooper allies to assist. That's fine. Hopefully we'll have an AoE ability from Nest in a second now. Just like that. Wonderful. No? Let's get some AoE dazes then. No. Alrighty then. Wonderful. Love me some AoE dazes. More dazes is more good. And a revive. Must be Christmas time. Yes, yes, yes. No, Rex coming in dealing way too much damage. Let's get some AoE dazes. More AoE dazes, more AoE dazes. Yeah, that was actually pretty good. That was actually pretty good. There we go, we nearly got it done. We had like 60 dazes in that battle. I'm probably, like I said, probably should throw on that ability upgrade over here. Yeah, it's not leveled up at all. You only need it level 4. There you go. Alrighty then. That is the Daze quest completed, and I think that should be us all wrapped up and rounded off for the final set of journey quests, giving us that Mandalorian lightspeed token. Absolutely love to see it. And we get one for Beskar Armor Mando. Now, even on my alt account, unfortunately, I'm not going to gain any benefit out of that particular lightspeed token because my BAM is already Relic 7. So I'll get the free stuff from that. We'll use the one on Queel. That's absolutely brilliant. Love to see it, even though I don't really use Queel these days. That's fine. We'll use the one on Grief Karga. Wonderful. This lightspeed token will give you access to Beskar Armor Mando, which is huge. You can push straight away for your Executor. Now over here, I'm using my anomalous lightspeed token on Paz because I'm pushing for Bo-Katan Mandalore. This is going to give me 2 Zetas and save myself 400 Kyrotech. You should be doing something similar. You can use it on Padawan Sabine Wren. She's not a bad shout. But I would generally try to focus on where you can get the most value. So for me, personally, like I said, I am pushing towards getting Bo-Katan Mandalore. It's not Beskar Armor Mando, Bo-Katan Mandalore. So I want to try and get this guy up to Relic 7 to make me active for that particular journey guide. Hopefully it won't take me too long to get the remaining materials that I need for that, but you should be able to do something very, very similar. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to wrap it up for today's video. I hope it was useful to you. If it was, please do hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you all in the very next video. Peace out, and may the Force be with you.